Hello beardlings, Strategist here, and we all have a horrible addiction. That's right, we're all addicted to magma, that sweet, mountainy blood source that provides so much use to us. Unfortunately, magma is routinely found deep below the mountains, and we are regularly found not quite that deep, and forcing us to either build an entire magma set down below, thus bringing everything down below to melt, or for those of us who have a mind for it, building a massive amount of infrastructure to bring the magma up to where we are and not having to bring the stone down and then back up. Either way requires a load of time and a surplus of resources. You might find yourself, though, in a position such as I find myself here, where I am located at Z level 128, but the magma is located at Z level -14. For 142 Z level difference. Even if I was trying to do something like Bucket Brigade, it's probably going to evaporate in the meantime. Meaning, we have three prerequisites for what we're trying to do today. 1, we need to transport the magma in groups of 2 or higher, preventing any of it from evaporating. 2, we want to try to do this on the minimal amount of infrastructure we can. And 3, we want to try to do so relatively safely without using too much time. So this is what I've come up with. This is a modified version of method 3 listed in the Dwarf Fortress wiki. I'm going to call this version 3.5 because, as we all know, edition 3.5 was always the best edition. Hot takes aside, let's go into what we do need for a foundation for this. 1, as usual for any project involving this, I have brought some of the magma over. This is where I'm using it. I'm not tapping the core area. I have it going through a naturally carved stone fortification. If you feel like this still isn't safe enough for you, you can, of course, always just build a lever-controlled hatch, or you can wall everything off with only a doored access until such time as you need to use it if you're that worried about magma crabs and the like. 2, you need 1 screw pump that is completely magma safe. The screw pump I have going here uses an adamantine pipe section. That's just because I dug down here and adamantine was the closest, easiest metal I could find. You can use any magma safe metal. Iron. Iron is magma safe, and it's found in like a majority of Dwarf Fortress bases. You can just use iron. Iron is fine. For the corkscrew, I use glass because if you have access to sand, you can make basically anything out of glass. Glass is also magma safe. For a stone alternative, under blocks, I use galena. Galena smelts into lead and silver, neither of which are magma safe, but galena itself is. If you're going to do something like what I did and use galena, you will have to go into the stone menu and make sure to change galena or your magma safe metal from red to green so you can use it for non-restricted stone tasks. I have enabled galena, I use it as a stone, and to the right of this area, I have everything being held in by a galena floodgate that is connected to a lever via a galena mechanism. Again, because it's all magma safe. Method 3 on the wiki uses a second screw pump to pump the magma up another Z level. We will not be doing that as this takes slightly less resources, and the resources it does use, such as this floodgate, are off of a stone that might be easily findable, as opposed to trying to do more levels of metal. The big thing of metal, or nether cap, if you happen to have found any, is going to be your 2 mine carts. I have 2 mine carts here, both of which are made out of adamantine. However, again, make them out of whatever you can that is magma safe. Usually some type of metal. If you have nether cap, make a wooden one. It's even lighter. So, you create a dump. 1 by 1, you dump your mine carts here. We have done so. This is why they are forbidden. I am going to use this lever to close off the 1 by 1 gap. And once that is closed off, I will order the pump to pump into this 1 square. Once it's started pumping, basically, you're already done. We'll just tell him to stop. He's good. Because he filled up this 1 square with 7 out of 7 magma. But if we go into any minecart, we see that each have 833 magma now, which is an equivalent depth of 2 out of 7. Meaning, if we bring this magma anywhere, it's all, as long as it's a 1 by 1 square, it is already deep enough to not evaporate, and thus it is still useful for whatever we need to do in terms of dwarves going up and down. For this particular video, I do have fast dwarf enabled, and I'm going to be doing a little cheat otherwise to speed it up, but other than that, this is all completely doable in game. So what we do here is once that is filled up and we're no longer pumping, thank you, is that a thing that we need to do right fucking now? You open the door, the floodgate, you let the magma come out. The magma comes out, it'll evaporate over time as long as you are a bit patient. It doesn't take too long, but it would be slightly long for this video, so I am going to use a little cheat to evaporate the magma and get rid of it. You can just wait. It will be gone eventually. Once the magma is gone, I will unforbid the minecarts, and I'll go back up to where I'm trying to build my magma furnace. I have constructed a track stop, and I built it to the east. You need a track stop pointing towards the hole you intend to fill. My hole is just a 1x1. There is nothing down there. Under the haul menu, I've created a new route called Magma, and I gave it a stop assigned to this. There's nothing set here. There's no special conditions or anything. However, when I go into vehicles, I can assign a minecart here. When I assign an Adamantine minecart, we can see it's already 100% filled, meaning it's got the magma in it. So they bring it in. As soon as I put it on the minecart track, it automatically gets dumped. As we can see here, we are now at a 2 out of 7. I am going to go back into hauling route. This is a key step. If you have an issue getting rid of this, it's because you didn't come back here. Go to stop 1 and set it to none. I could have just set it to the next vehicle, but I'm assuming you guys will be doing one at a time. So set it to none to clear it out. Then go back to the minecart and redump it for them to take it back down. If the minecart is still assigned to that hauling route, which I will show in a second, they will not dump it. They'll just refuse. So now that they've done that, I'm going to go back to this very same one and assign it the other Adamantine minecart. If you could not tell, if, let's say it's iron, they're all the same quality, the other one still shows it's full because it has stuff in it. This is how you identify which one has your magma in it. Once we've done that, it is now dumped to 4 out of 7. We're good. And I am not going to remove it this time. Just to point out that if you hit dump, they don't do anything. You now have a conflicting claim for this minecart. You have a dump claim and you have a hauling route claim. So the minecart doesn't really go anywhere. They'll just sit here. They're very confused. They don't know what you want from them. So again, go into stop. Hit V on stop. Then set it to none to unassign that minecart from the route. Then when you've done that, hit dump. They'll come by and they'll pick it up. There you go. Once you have the 4 out of 7, you can get rid of the track stop. It's no longer needed. And I'm just going to dump these galena blocks to get them out of the way. In this particular case, I can now build the magma smelter for my unlimited smelts. And I put that hole where the dark green X was going to be to make sure no one ever falls in the magma. I'm going to build this out of galena blocks just because that's kind of what we're going off of right now anyways. And now that it's built, we have a magma smelter up this high, no access to any magma. This magma cannot drain anywhere, and your smelters just need 4 out of 7 magma below them. They don't actually consume it. They just need it to be there to make sure they're good. So for the rest of the thing, I can now just say adamantine wafers on repeat, and I don't have to bring other than adamantine being brought up, I don't have to bring everything down to the bottom of the map and then back up. If you are someone who learns more off of reading than you do someone talking, in the description down below, I'll be listing Kit Fox's Joel Meador's picture recap of basically the same method that I just covered, except his is more truthful to what is currently listed in the Wikipedia. And of course, if you found today's video educational, give it a thumbs up. If you found me entertaining, give the channel a follow. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.